that it's going to be done as they double to protect Lou Williams.
Jamal Murray for 3. That's his second three-pointer.
I mean, struggling, but finding a way to hang around until they get it going. And it's the role players again. Grant with the big-time shot.
For the Denver Nuggets here in Game 7. Long distance from Murray.
Unreal.
Yeah!
Turn it up, baby! Shoot. Let's go. Lasers. Producers, how do we sound? How's that for a mic check? Are we hot? Are we coming in hot?
What is up, everybody? Welcome into the Winners Lounge.
The winnerest of lounges.
The winnerest of Winners Lounges.
Guess the Clippers aren't allowed in here, huh?
Guys, I'm telling you right now, this to me is number one moment in my Nuggets fanhood career, like just my life as a Nuggets fan. This 2 freaking 3-1 comebacks, just dominating in Game 7 behind your 2 best players. Am I in a dream?
No. Yes.
Am I in a dream?
I don't know. Eric was in we don't have this till we have it mode until 20 seconds.
He waited way too long.
Seconds left on the floor.
I'm conservative, and at like 4 minutes I was like feeling it. Eric was like, 13 seconds. He finally moved.
I'm wounded. I've got deep emotional scars, but I had them and now they're gone.
Hey, this is not your mom and dad's Denver Nuggets.
This is not your mom and dad's Denver Nuggets. Real quick, guys, I'm Adam Modest. I'm joined by Brendan Vogt.
Winners only, baby.
I got D-Line Co.
Let's go!
That's so beautiful. Sounds like a seagull being
I know, right? Like
and then, of course,
seagull.
RK.
Always here.
No.
Somehow.
Hold on. No. This is not RK. This is Ryan Winningsberg.
This is
let's go, baby.
Black jorts and whiskey cocktail Ryan is an iconic.
It's really the best Ryan.
Yo, Game 7 whiskey undefeated.
Guys, I'm gonna. I know this is stupid. Nothing. Sports don't have morality. I talk about this all the time. There's no morality. There's no ethics. There's none of this. But we freaking deserve this, and the Denver Nuggets freaking deserve this. As Denver Nuggets fans, I'm just saying, like, this
did we
moment.
Just introduce morality into sports?
We did.
We're the first people to ever do that.
Ever tried it? Yeah.
We did.
You could argue this was good versus evil.
I'm serious. This is what I mean, guys.
We're wearing white and they're black.
This was an ultimate battle between the small market and big market. I know the Clippers haven't always been that, but this Clippers team rigged the system to get these superstars.
They skipped steps.
They skipped They didn't take any steps. They just put together this mercenary team. And look, again, there's no right or wrong way to do it, but boy, is it freaking rewarding when you're the scrappy underdog, did it the hard way team, and you take it to this Hollywood team like that. Unbelievable.
There's a cooler way to do it. I mean, right or wrong. No,
there is a cooler way to do it. That's definitely true. There is a cooler way.
But yeah, like from a fan perspective, there's a right way.
I'm going to start off like I always do. I mean, I don't even want to do. I just want to sit here. You said this all the time. I just want to like bask
I know, right?
in this.
You guys just let the comments come in.
Just keep them coming.
Yeah, just talk amongst yourselves.
Retweet this, guys. Give it 1 million retweets. Let's get 20,000 people in the show.
Tell your grandparents.
I always start
Someone
this
said
off.
I'm eating my own face.
That's how I feel right now.
Let's
Should we first actually have a winner shot? We have a winner shot. Should we all just? Your winner shot looks like it's not.
Can I give the toast actually?
Please. Oh my God, I was begging for somebody here.
I accidentally already.
So this is a 3-part toast. So to Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic for being the best players on the floor tonight.
Little sip, okay.
Exactly who they needed to be.
Little sip.
To the DNVR bar crowd down there who
Unbelievable
showed out like we were
crowd.
in the can.
Amazing.
No better place on earth to be for this game.
And
Not
to
even
still
close.
in the
Not even
driver's
close.
seat, Paul George, for whom the Clippers traded more first-round draft picks than he hit field goals in Game 7. Playoff P. This is
Have a seat.
My God.
Tastes like
I
a wing.
accidentally already took 2 winner shots
I love
before we got up here.
accidentally.
Yeah. So here's where I want to go. I usually ask you
Williamsburg is
guys
on
for
one.
the big takeaway. I want to start with my big takeaway. I have so many takeaways. But number one,
Take it home, baby.
Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray just outplayed, and I don't mean like, okay, because they won the game. No. They dominated Kawhi Leonard and Paul George in this game. And I think if you look back on it, they actually outplayed them throughout the whole course of the series. I think Jokic was the best player in this series. It was him and Kawhi tied going into this game. No question who was better in this one.
From game 2 on, right?
From game 2 on, and we have in game 1, like, I mean, come on. But if you just look at the duos and say which duo would you rather had tonight, there's not many people in the NBA who would take anybody over Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Maybe LeBron and Anthony Davis. We're not going to talk about them today.
There wasn't a single person on ESPN, I'll tell you that much.
But here we are, and those guys played him. That ascension, no matter where you go from here, is unquestionable. That's my big takeaway.
I mean, what else can you say? Like, the Nuggets just took. I mean, we don't skip steps. We created this whole thing. Like,
Beautiful.
We talked about it
This
the
was
whole
the
time.
culmination of that.
Yes, like they just took a major step forward. Like, they just exercised so many demons
Yeah,
of Nuggets past.
they have.
I mean, I don't even know what to say about this team. I feel like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm living in like a waking dream right now.
And there's a mental edge thing too here, right? I mean, so long we talked about everyone knows they're good. They can beat you any night. But does anyone fear them? Are they one of the 2 best teams out west? And I think, I'm going to steal your point. You brought up that earlier in the season, there was that watch party they lost to the Clippers.
Yes.
And it was like, oh,
That's beautiful
it was
how this season has unfolded in this way.
a wake-up call. Oh, that's right. They're not there yet, right? And then so to come out, to beat that same team, to come back from 3-1, and to blow them out of the water in Game 7, fine, if you're not afraid of us, that's your funeral, brother. You should be.
I'm going to steal the second takeaway, and that's it. This Denver Nuggets team was tough as nails in this whole playoffs. Coming back from 3-1, not once but twice. Being down 2 starters.
Yo.
Guys, look at everything that happened to this Nuggets team. They had 8 guys arrive inside the bubble on time. They started Bol at shooting guard in their preseason games because they didn't have anybody healthy. They get Gary Harris in Game 6 of that series when they're already down. They fought through so many things, and people have slept on that all year for various reasons that I don't understand, why they look at this team and said, oh, they're soft, nobody fears them. Guess what? That team is not afraid of anybody, and they just went toe-to-toe with their backs against the wall and threw haymakers.
Oh,
I mean, this team is tough as nails, and we've seen them have the moments where you're like, this team has some mental toughness. Murray and Jokic, those guys have some. That team was tough as nails, man.
They just went through the gauntlet. They just became hard-tempered through fire. Like they were. I mean, they were soft earlier on in the year. I mean, this was not the Nuggets squad that we dealt with in the early parts. We were just concerned about the psychology of various players and whether or not like they were motivated. I mean, Nikola Jokic is built for this. I mean, he is.
And Murray. And Jamal Murray.
Murray.
Look, this is an important watershed moment. This whole playoffs, and I don't even think tonight necessarily needed to have it, but it solidifies it for me. It's Jokic and Murray. Is Jokic better? Whatever. I don't even care. Like, I think so, of course. I just don't care because those 2 guys, you need teammates to win in the NBA. Those 2 guys have it. They're made of the right stuff.
This was...
We can go if you want to. Let's go to King of the Game. It's a little early. The DraftKings Sportsbook King of the Game tonight.
Kings of
and
the game.
what do you know? It is a dual king.
Jamal had 40
Jamal had
points.
You guys didn't realize Jamal had 40?
And this is like
he had 20 in one quarter.
I was blacked out for a good portion of that game.
And you could not tailor make a team, by the way, better suited to shut Jamal Murray down.
Right.
This is the team.
Yeah.
And he just dropped 40 in Game 7.
Here's the thing about it. Every one of those points he scored was taken with more confidence than any of the shots Paul George took with tonight.
What a front runner loser.
The fourth quarter,
such
though,
a loser.
I mean, in both of these series, I've just been waiting for the other foot to drop, right? The Nuggets are up. You're like, here comes the run. Here comes the run. Tonight in the fourth, I don't know about you guys, with 10 minutes left, I was like, wow, this Clippers team is broken.
Yeah.
They don't want it. They don't have what Denver's shown time and time again in them. They can front run. They can lead. But down 10 in the fourth.
Can they even?
I mean, not just Paul George. Kawhi Leonard, too, by the way. I'm gonna get a little. Is this your best player in the world?
You know, I don't want to take anything away. Here's the thing: I don't want to happen is I don't want us to just talk about how bad the Clippers choked, although it's part of the story. But here's where I go with that: the Clippers, the number 2 offense in the NBA in the regular season. The Denver Nuggets can't guard anybody, right? That's what we hear. Jokic, you can't build a proper defense around him. What do they have tonight? How many?
Munder.
3 Munders. 3 Munders in a playoff series, including in games 4, 6, and 7. In the other games, they get 110, 107, and 111. Come on.
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
This was...
Actually, I made that wrong. They got less. They got 105, 101, 113. So they got 105 or fewer points in 4 games. This Denver team that can't defend locked them up.
Unbelievable.
This was a dream from a Nuggets fan perspective.
A dream. Honestly, it checked every box.
You get to a
MPJ
game 7.
didn't get a 30-point game. That's the only box it didn't check.
You get to a game 7 against a major market team, and we haven't had the full-scale Jokic and Murray game until tonight.
Yeah.
And we finally got both guys completely locked in, and it was incredible. Yeah. And I'm gonna toot my own horn here. I called it on bets right before the game. I said I honestly see a path to where the Nuggets win this game in a blowout. And I also, after Game 7 in the Utah series, sat here and said I like the way the Nuggets match up with the Clippers. And I said it after Game 6.
Say something about the Lakers now.
Game 1 was a scheduled loss.
Yeah.
Game 3, they threw it away, and they still beat this team 4 games in a 7-game series. Honestly, if you give them rest before Game 1 and if they finish Game 3, the Nuggets are better than the Clippers.
They outplayed them. Yeah. They outplayed them. And look, at a certain point, watch and listen to how little is made of the Nuggets defense in round 2.
They're not going to talk about it. And it's not even just round 2. It was also the end of round 1.
I think in this series, they were as good as they were bad in round 1. I mean, that is a championship-level offense. And the Nuggets, with a rookie who's a defensive nightmare and a center who supposedly can't be built around.
Guys, I want tag us with all the great tweets out there because I want us to be.
Oh my God!
We're doing this show, so we're not even on the timeline right now. But send at DNVR Nuggets all your favorite memes that are going on here. Yeah, that defense, man, just this performance, and your point earlier about they weren't always the tough team, and I think some of this is true. It's also like I think it's a little bit like Jokic's overall persona. I think they've always had it, and him in particular has always had it. They don't always tap into it. If frustratingly so. Sometimes they tap into 0% of it, and it's just, and in the regular season, and you're just like, what the hell? But they did tap into it. We all knew they had this kind of thing in them, and they tapped into it. And here's another thing I really believe about this Nuggets team. They are a better team now than they were at the start of the playoffs. Yes. That's not just because they were getting murdered by Donovan Mitchell, but you don't find out who you are in life, and it's especially true in sports until you're faced with the ultimate adversity.
It's true.
Your toughest times reveal who you really are and can turn you into who you really are. And that's why I think this Nuggets team has been on death's door for a month. You couldn't script a better – me too. You couldn't script a better sort of training ground for this team to grow as a team. And I just feel like where they are now, how can you doubt them?
Isn't there an easier case to make – that we're still in the very brightest timeline? I really do. MPJ's playing. He's looked good. Jamal is more than who we thought he was.
Yeah.
Whoever he's been.
Oh, Jamal Murray,
whoever he's been is good enough to be the second best player on a title team. I mean, this team is close
already. And at times the best, and that's what. Yeah. And this is nothing against Jokic, who was incredible tonight. This was a masterpiece by Nikola Jokic. A masterpiece. He
had a triple-double in the third quarter.
And he was a co-king of the game because that's what it takes. I mean, you think about LeBron James, arguably the greatest player of all time, in arguably the most impressive finals appearance in 2016. His running mate, Kyrie Irving, also having the greatest games of his career. That's what it takes to be great. And it's just so special to see the Nuggets have not just one player that can do that, but a second one and several others that can fill in the gaps around them.
Don't you? I just feel so like there's just something about like planting a seed and then sitting back and watching it grow. And like not only watching it grow, but watching it grow amongst adversity absolutely everywhere. Like in soil that had been poisoned by...
And everyone else telling you your plant will never grow.
No, not everyone else, but there's certain people, like, obviously there's a certain way of covering this team that enjoyed that narrative, and it's just like, guys...
Covering this team.
It's like, guys, we, for one, saw it in this team. Like, even we saw the seed. We didn't know if it was going to grow into the oak tree that it is now, but we saw the seed and we knew it was promising. But also, there's just, like... The people jumping on now, which we welcome, everybody's welcome to jump on.
It's
but
fun,
I'm saying it was so much more rewarding for all of us that got to be like, we got to see this thing crawl and then walk and now run. And it's just, there's something so beautiful. And this is why the Nuggets experience is not the Clippers experience,
right?
Is that there was a phase 1, a phase 2, and whatever phase we're on right now. And it's just, this is what sports are truly about.
Those OGs you're talking about, they found out at the last that the Nuggets are who they thought they were. But it came after getting as close as they possibly could have been to being who the detractors said they were.
Here's the other thing, like that, yes, when you just put something, you just grow it in a petri dish, it has no, like, there's no soul, right? And, or maybe there is. I don't know how science works, but like the Clippers had no soul. The Lakers have no soul.
The Lakers have no soul.
They have no soul.
Yeah, but they're going to be a bigger challenge.
They are. Well, are they? I don't know. Like the Clippers gave us more trouble during the season than the Lakers did. Like, I'm just saying, like, the Clippers had no the Clippers had no resolve. Like,
I don't even want to talk about the Lakers though.
But the Clippers had no resolve as we went down the stretch. They just started to look at one another. They got unbelievably tight. They didn't know where to go, who they were, no identity. Their identity was just being a bunch of good players. And so bunch of good players are supposed to play good when the moment is big. And Playoff P, who's a front-running loser, and I'm looking at him right now, like he epitomizes everything that is wrong with the way most people view the NBA. Like, you're just supposed to make buckets, and it's about, like, you know, like having the name, having the swag, and like he's got all of that. And look at this, like when the chips are down, like what happens?
For 3 years, the Nuggets have been telling us this team plays for each other.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing that sounds like a bunch of nothing when you're losing games. And the analytics guys aren't going to see that in any column. But Michael Malone sees it in his team. And this stuff is hard to quantify, but okay, 2 consecutive 3-1 comebacks. Yes, this team plays for each other, and that matters. Yeah. And that's what they had that the Clippers had, other than also Nikola Jokic.
I mean, real quick, Michael Malone says this a lot, and he said it recently, and he said a team either takes on the personality of their coach or their best player.
Yeah.
And I think the Nuggets have this incredible combination of Jamal Murray's toughness.
Yeah.
Nikola Jokic's calmness, and Mike Malone's grit.
Yeah, man.
Totally. And it's like, that's why they're here right now.
So true.
It's not just one or the other. It's the combination of all 3 of those. That's why the Nuggets are going to the Western Conference Finals.
Can't wait till they get Michael Porter's confidence.
But look, man, to your earlier point, you couldn't script a better first run, right? For like he's going through all of this. He's succeeded, but he's also struggled. He's succeeded by scoring, also learned he has to do it by defense and rebounding. He's learned these tough lessons, been targeted, and they're winning the games.
Yeah.
So this is still the brightest timeline for all this stuff, all these guys.
Yeah, it's crazy too. Like, as the game progresses, and we're watching Paul Millsap's missing shots early, and people were like, "Get him out of there! Get him out of there!" It's like, no, like this is how this works. Like, you allow these players, you instill them with confidence. You allow them to sort of figure it out on their own, and then all of a sudden Paul Millsap hits 2 or 3 threes in a row, and the Nuggets start to go on a run, and the Nuggets start to play in a way that is complementary, and players that you don't expect, because in the moment they do something you don't like, they miss an assignment or whatever. They don't wilt in the way that, like, everybody on the Clippers started to wilt, because they don't have that feeling, and they don't have that confidence in one another. They don't have that thing. Like,
it's even more pronounced than that. I mean, some of this is the existential part you're talking about, when you can feel that people trust you or don't trust you, and they didn't have that. But it's also just the roles. I mean, this was a team that just believed they could ISO their way to a championship. And, maybe in future years they can. They have great isolation players. But we were laughing when Reggie Jackson checked into the game, because we were like, what the hell is his role on this team? And he saw it. He was like, am I supposed to dribble? Or am I supposed to shoot? Like, what am I supposed to do right now? They're throwing me out here to defend and kind of like set screens or something. And that wasn't just him. It was all of them. They're all like, well, I don't know. What is my role on this team? Whereas the Nuggets, I think it's very clearly defined over years for most of these guys, well defined, and it's just the togetherness was just, it was beautiful to watch. And it was beautiful to watch as the series went on, it come together more and more. Game 5, close, but you saw the seeds of it. Game 6, close, you saw the seeds of it. This game, they smacked them. And they were down 10 points. They still came back from 10 points down.
And the role players stepped up too, by the way. We've talked how it's going to come down to making open shots as non-stars.
They did
I mean, the Clippers were determined not to let Jokic beat them.
Yeah.
He still did, because he's that dude.
He painted a masterpiece, man.
But the Paul Millsap threes, the Jeremy Grant threes, which I've highlighted because he's such a good shooter, in fact. and has been wide open all series. Hit 2 huge ones. Millsap, Gary, Denver's role players were ready for this moment. The Clippers, not so much.
I tweeted it as a kind of a joke before the game, but it was serious. I said, the Clippers merely adopted Game 7. The Nuggets were born in it, molded by it. I felt very confident about the fact that the Nuggets have now been in 4 Game 7s in the last 2 years, and I said it to you after Game 6. I said, don't you feel like this isn't going to be as big of a deal to them?
And you saw it seemed like it tonight, man.
It didn't. They were ready.
Dude, that gif you put out the first time when they're on the gallows, that was 100% the vibe of this game. It was the Nuggets kind of being like, yeah, this is a lot of pressure, isn't it, guys? And they were like, oh, God.
Paul George shoots it off the backboard.
What do we got, producer?
Hey, good. Well, you know what though? You know what's
front running losers.
Even they're hedging though. Dude. Even they're like, Lakers got this in 5, but Nugs
probably do.
But Nugs will probably win a title. But Nugs will probably win a title, is what they're saying in the chat.
F it, man.
No,
come at us, bro.
Hey,
come
look, who cares? Like analysts says, like the Lakers are probably going to win this series, but after the first 2 rounds,
analysts said Clippers in 6, 5, and 4.
So did I, by the way. I had the Clippers in 6.
I don't even want to talk. Lakers fans can hop in there all the fuck they want. We'll deal with them tomorrow and in the following days. Right now, I just want to live in the moment. I want to stay present because this is Lakers fans don't know what this is like. They never will.
No,
they
don't.
never will.
Nope.
The guys they told us were better than Jokic and Murray are right now in New York. They're in New Orleans.
Yep.
They're way the fuck away, and they haven't even looked at those guys for years. Not once have they looked or thought about those guys. Soulless, and that's what's so fun about this Nuggets team. And they know it, too. That's the thing that's so funny about it.
Is there anyone you would trade Jokic for?
No. I mean, he's our guy. Maybe, he's our guy.
But it's beyond. For years past, it was like, well, Denver's built around Jokic, but I'd rather have this guy.
Right.
Look, man, what are we, 28 playoff games in?
He made it look easy tonight.
Give me Jokic over Harden. Give me Jokic over half these guys. There's a star.
Well, this is what I'm talking about, though, about some of this, just the way we think about basketball is, I do think the game, the Warriors, it was disguised when they got Kevin Durant, but the thing that made him so great wasn't just Steph Curry's brilliance. Right. It wasn't just Draymond's defense or Klay. It was the fact that the sum was greater than the individual parts, and that to me is what basketball at its best is about. It's not always that way though. Sometimes it is just this individual that overcomes everything. But this is what the Denver Nuggets have been building over years, and they have it in spades.
It really just feels like good triumphed over evil,
doesn't
it? It just feels like all is right in the world.
It's not, but it does feel like that, yes.
I mean, if anybody was confused, not all is not currently right in the world, but all feels
actually most things are wrong
right in the world
this
at this
bar,
exact
it's
moment.
a lot of wrong things.
I feel yes. I'm.
Hey,
hold on. Hey, we love to dunk.
Hey, Matt Moore, by the way.
Yes, we love to dunk on Matt Moore. Matt Moore was the only analyst I know
including
us, who picked the Nuggets in 7. So shout out Matt Moore.
Matt Moore, man, with a hell of a prediction, man. The only person on earth I saw, professional.
Literally.
I don't think I saw a single other person. And funny thing is, his rationale, pretty on. His rationale was exactly how
Jokic.
Well, it was part. It was that. It was the matchups, but it was also just this idea of the team versus the individual. This idea, and it played out that way. Should we hit a break so I can catch my breath? Because
yes,
we do have to
no
pay.
breaks ever.
Break.
Let's get these things fired up, and we haven't even talked about the individual players in this game, and we've sort of basked in all of this. When we get back, let's talk about this actual game and how it went down because it was pretty interesting.
I also just want to say how much I love our community, the people in the chat.
That's what we've built here.
The love coming at us,
the people pointing at us down in the bar when we pound on the glass. That's what it's all about.
We're so with you.
I'm just gonna say from a slightly outside perspective,
you
guys deserve this. I honestly believe
no one can suffer like us.
That no one in the country covered their team the way that you guys covered the Nuggets. And that makes this even better. Makes it even sweeter.
Okay. Cheers, brother.
Drink to that. Cheers, brother.
Looks like the Peloton Prince is ready to join the chat.
Oh,
why don't you give us a read? Why don't you give us a read while we get out of here?
Well,
RK, ladies and gentlemen, you got another one. He's got a walk-off.
Let me just say, I really enjoyed my Paul Millsap minutes here. I was the starter, but I didn't really do anything. But I must say,
the floor.
No one but LeBron on the Lakers is ready for this. The Nuggets aren't scared.
And
soft. You know what? I even like the matchup better with the Heat or the Celtics. Nuggets in 6, Nuggets in 5. Champs, let's go.
Let's go!
Dude, That's the life right there.
I
Is
can't believe
going on
Arcade-
podcasts of sports you don't cover and just dropping the mic on your way.
I can't believe Arcade
That's the
toned it
move.
down at the end.
Yeah, he really toned it down. He was
He must have gotten a little too drunk.
bullish. Yeah.
Let's do this.
I'm drunk on just excitement right now.
Super sub.
All right, let's hit a
I'm
break.
drunk
Let's
on
hit this
excitement
break,
too,
though.
and booze.
Because then I want to hear from the Peloton Prince about what was discussed. We haven't even talked about this game, Harrison. I'm serious. We have not talked about the game.
So 3 of us here are drinking. I know we're all drinking Breck brews.
I got a hot pink IPA.
Breckenridge Brewery,
An RK special.
the official beer
Williamsburg special.
and brewery of DNVR. Breck Brew has one of my favorite features that any beer distributor has. They have the Breck Beer Locator, so you can search down to the flavor, where the nearest beer is close to you, down to the 10th of a mile. So no excuses.
I was going to say, I like the idea that it tells you the nearest beer. It's like somebody is drinking a Breck Brew in that house
Right.
over
It's
there.
like, where's the nearest Mango
That's the
Mosaic?
next app we're gonna
Your
try.
That's the
fridge.
next app.
Or you could just come down to the DNVR bar on Colfax. We got all that good on tap. We also have to talk about DraftKings. It sure was nice seeing teams back out on the gridiron over the
I don't
weekend.
think you changed.
Lucky for us, it
think
was
I
just
think
week
I had.
one. There is no better place to get in on all of the
Can I
action.
interrupt you one time,
than
though,
with
real quick?
DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated.
I'm going to tell you, I'm sorry. There's one bet that is the safest bet ever. It's Nikola Jokic getting rebounds in an elimination game.
Over on
We
rebounds,
bet
too.
this thing like every game in the playoffs so far. They were in an elimination game. One thing Jokic does 100% of the time when he has to is rebound the ball.
America's top-rated sportsbook app. To add to the excitement of Week 2, DraftKings Sportsbook is bringing back their can't miss offer. If you haven't tried out DraftKings Sportsbook yet, head to the app now because you don't want to miss this opportunity. DraftKings Sportsbook is giving away all new users the chance to turn $1 into $100 when they bet on any team. That's right, you can place a $1 bet on any team, and if that team wins, you cash a cool Benjamin. Don't pass that up. That's just stupid. If you're new to DraftKings Sportsbook, head to the app now to scout their latest offers. Bet with DraftKings Sportsbook, a sportsbook that goes wherever you go. It's safe, reliable, and secure, making it easy for you to deposit and withdraw your money at your convenience. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code DNVR when you sign up. Pick any team during Week 2, bet $1 on them and win $100 if they win. That's $1 to win $100 when you use promo code DNVR while signing up for DraftKings Sportsbook.
I hope you guys all cashed in that pick of the week.
Man,
I hope
how
you
about
cashed
that?
in.
How about the DraftKings
I
pick
hope
of the
you
week?
cashed
in. And if
Nuggets in Game 7.
If you were cashing in
pick.
on
I
that
did.
pick of the week, you probably did so if you're 21 or older because you have
That's
to
a
be
good
to bet with
point.
DraftKings Sportsbook. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Quick DraftKings shout out to this commenter real quick. Cashed up plus 5,000 after game.
Wow! Shout out
Plus
Jonathan.
5,000 after
next,
game 1.
Next round is on Jonathan Roberts. Come on down to the DNVR bar.
Wow.
That's it, man. I'm done. Let's get wind in here.
Harrison, how was the
happened?
press? What would you say the mood was of in the Nuggets locker room and in the pressers?
Were they
I
happy,
mean,
or-
it seemed like they definitely went wild in the locker room because they were a little subdued when they finally got in front of a Zoom call.
I can relate. I can absolutely relate.
Yeah, I talked to Jamal. I talked to Jeremy Grant. Couldn't wait out Nikola. I think he's going right now, but he might have been sipping the rock.
You need to pull it up for like Arcade here so he could pull in
Yeah.
like details or something.
Nikola did say this on ESPN in the walk-off interview. He said, quote, "Nobody wants us here. Nobody thinks that we
Hell
can do
yeah,
something.
play that
we
note.
prove to ourselves and to everybody we can do something."
Nobody
City,
wants
baby.
us here. I love it.
Fraud
I
City,
love it.
bunch
This
of
NBA,
frauds.
honestly, it is too WWE,
Facts.
and I'm not saying they rig it. I'm just saying that everybody wants the same fucking story. Every single team. Like, oh, we got the Heat and Celtics. What is this? 2012?
Was it 7 offensive fouls in the first?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Like everybody wants that thing. Playing spoiler. It's just like it's
Shout
just
out
so
Pat
great.
Bev.
What are we?
Yeah.
F you to the coast.
On that topic, okay, these 4 commentators, Shaq, Charles Barkley, Stephen A. Smith, Zach Lowe, are those guys Nuggets guys? Or did they pick against the Nuggets? Like, obviously, Zach Lowe did on ESPN, but Jamal Murray named those 4 guys by name. I couldn't tell if he was calling them out or giving
Zach Lowe, Charles Barkley.
Stephen A. and Shaq.
Nice.
What a funny collection of people.
That is.
Yeah.
How did
That's
Zach Lowe
so
end up
random.
in there?
Yeah,
But
Zach
he-
Lowe is just like, why am I
Hot take
in
artist
here?
Zach Lowe.
He said those 4 names and was either calling them out or like giving them a shout out and said, y'all better start giving this team some respect. I just thought it was funny how it was those 4 names.
It is
That
hilarious.
was funny.
Thank God he didn't mention me. Whew.
I don't think we're on that radar.
Harrison, he's like, Shaq.
Yeah, he's hanging my tweets in his locker for
All
inspiration.
right, so give us some more. Harrison, keep feeding us, man. This is good stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, Michael Malone had a quote where he was like, they gave us a knockout punch in the second. We responded. We showed the heart of a champion, the heart of a fighter. I mean, that is the story of this series, though.
It is. To me, it's the story.
The Clippers have punched and punched and punched, and every time the Nuggets have answered.
Every time.
It's been incredible.
Every single time.
The Clippers looked like a team with their foot on the gas to me. They just couldn't go fast
They
enough.
couldn't do it. They tried. The Clippers tried to get the lead in this one. They didn't have the backbone Denver did. That's really what it came down to. They did not have the spine.
The Nuggets have improved every single year that Michael Malone has been.
Yeah, that's true.
The head of this.
This is definitively a step forward, not just because it's another round. It's a tougher opponent. It was tougher to get here. It's incredible. What else, Harrison? Keep feeding us.
Michael Malone, quote, "We're not afraid of anyone."
So true.
Damn right they're not afraid
Lie
of
detector
anyone.
said that was true.
That is true.
The sky's the limit for this team. We're not done. We're not
They're
done.
not done this year or next year or the year after.
That was something else he said. I mean, they're doing it with a 23-year-old Jamal Murray.
And by the way,
a 25-year-old Nikola Jokic.
We've tried so hard not to hop into excuse zone all postseason. Will Barton is the third best player on this basketball team. 15, 5, and 4 does not fall off of trees. So 2 points on that. A, they did it without him. And B, in the future, they bought themselves more time. There were rumors of Barton coming back. Who knows?
Got 2 more weeks to come back now.
Juancho Hernangomez just tweeted out, so happy for Denver Nation. Actually,
that breaks my heart.
He tweeted this out 55 minutes ago.
Why are you bringing the room down, man?
I'm just saying. No, you know what? Juancho has a little piece of this. Just a little piece.
I know.
Bring Juancho back.
Bring Juancho
Make it
back.
a priority.
I love that there's like 8 guys we want to be just the end of bench guys.
End of bench guys. Look, I had a conversation.
I wouldn't mind Mike Miller coming back.
I had a conversation with a front office guy who said, look, your 12th man usually doesn't play.
Yeah.
And sometimes the best role for the 12th man on a bench is a guy who fills that role well.
Or
and
speaks the same language as your star player.
Actually, yeah. I was going to say, what is Denver's record since Vlatko has arrived in the bubble?
Some are talking about it.
Something to think about it.
Many people are saying.
People on the street are talking
Man, this
about
bar is still
people down there. Having,
I actually feel like
sorry
the
about
game
those pit
flipped
stays.
when
That's
the
rough.
bar started to slow clap.
Yeah,
That's
we got
true.
a
was incredible.
At halftime, what was that?
It was
A slow clap.
Dude, these
myself
guys
got
cheer the
inspired.
whole game, like organized cheers and stuff.
It's incredible.
That's amazing. All right, what else? Keep feeding us.
Another shout out to Wes Unseld, Nuggets assistant coach. The Nuggets allowed 33 points in the second half, 15 in the fourth
Holy
quarter.
hell.
The Clippers missed a lot of shots, but we can talk about the physicality aspect of this team too. But Clippers were shook in that fourth quarter.
Shook.
You guys know what I loved? Sorry, this just reminds me of this. I mean, Jokic for real threw an over-the-head pass when the game was over.
Oh, straight stunting on them.
Just as an FU on the way out. Oh, my
No one will remember
L
that, but that's
on
so
the way
symbolic
out.
of
Take
him.
It is
that
so symbolic
L.
to be like, you guys thought you had some. Remember Montrezl Harrell looking at the crowd, his friends, and saying, he can't guard me.
Looking
Guess
at
what?
Jason Tatum's son.
They can guard him.
That was a lie.
It turns out they can guard him, yeah.
No, but Wes Unseld, he's the defensive coordinator of this team, quote unquote. I wrote earlier this season when I talked to him
Nice plug.
that he has never been a defensive coordinator before coming to Denver. Like, defense wasn't his thing, but Michael Malone was like, "You're doing the defense." He said, "Okay," and now the defense has shown up in this series for sure. Do we want to do the physicality thing? Going back to February,
Please.
Okay, so I mean, this is a big thing I've been on, and I'm gonna write about this too, so you'll hear more
Can't
about
wait.
it. But back in February, the Nuggets got blown out by the Clippers on national TV. I got a call from a source close to a player on the team that pretty much vented and said, "Nobody in this league thinks this team is physical. Nobody in this league is afraid of this team. They think they can boss the Nuggets around. They think they can punch the Nuggets in the mouth. They're not going to punch back." Where they came from that loss
and I was
in
gonna
February.
But hold on. First of all, they were right. That was an absolute demolishing of the Denver Nuggets. I think that game was 132 to 103 Clippers, and it wasn't as close as that 30-point sounds.
Yeah.
They embarrassed the Denver Nuggets that night, and whatever the source of yours told you, they were just speaking the quiet part. Everybody was thinking that.
Yeah, the sense I got was that's how the entire league felt,
Right.
you know. And after that game, they had a players-only meeting. Will Barton was very vocal in that meeting, saying kind of that same kind of thing, that everybody thinks we're soft, they can push us around. We know we're not that team. And to think about that and what happened in the second half of Game 7 here tonight, I mean, the Nuggets were the enforcer.
Yeah.
You know, the Clippers were the ones that were shook and looked like frantic on offense.
People
so
just
it's just
Paul
pretty
Millsap.
incredible to see that reversal.
There's people just screaming Paul Millsap.
We just, I don't want to take away from what Harrison said because to me it's the thing that it's so much like the hero's journey. I know this is corny, but it really does feel like it. And that they had to slay this specific dragon, this specific team in this way, it really is just so poetic because it was like you had to go through the very team that represented you not being tough enough and nobody respecting you. And the fact that they did it and then clowned them on the way out is just
right. The fashion that they like. The fact that this was a blowout in the fourth quarter, man.
Do you have any more? I just saw a comment come across about Michael Malone or Jokic, and he said, "Coach, I'm going to get you a great present. I'm either going to get you home or get you to the Western Conference Finals." What a great... Yeah, Jokic, man. I mean, I think it's that he has nerves of steel, but I do think there's a level of he just really doesn't care. Like it's just like he's so present, you know. Like
I mean, think about the shuffles he took in Game 6.
Oh, just F you, just like
some
playing.
of those were like late in the shot clock. Some of those were like I don't really care.
Contrast him taking all those Sombor shuffles in Game 6 to everything that Paul George did in the fourth quarter of this game, where he just looked like he was like terrified to be in front of a camera.
It really is amazing that just the difference when you feel loose, you feel like you're playing with house money. Everything that was said about the Nuggets over the last week or so, like versus the Clippers feeling the literal weight of the world upon them and what that did to these players. It was crazy to watch. I mean, like Lou Williams, did he play this game?
He had a couple shots, but I mean, doesn't matter.
He got some shots up. Yoke doesn't feel pressure though.
Like, I don't think
he doesn't feel pressure, man.
It's all with him.
He is like obviously I think without a crowd, he is like so much more even relaxed than he would normally be in a playoff setting. I mean, he's just like fooling around out there like, you know, he's on a practice court.
Should we hit a break, and before we get back, we could talk about the actual game and then some of the big picture takeaways from this?
What have you guys been talking about?
I mean, we've just been the first 20 minutes
going on this.
The first 20 minutes was just us like being like, oh.
Yeah, we were just looking. I was just reading things online.
We made a lot of fun of Paul George. That's been a big
part
of
the show. We did a lot of that. That was a lot of that. Excuse me, playoff
to F off over
Still in the driver's seat.
Still in the driver's seat. All right, let's hit this last read. We'll get through it quickly. We'll interrupt you the very least we can, and then
which means just 6 times.
And then I have like a million. I feel like this show might go a little long, guys.
I think that's okay.
It's classic.
We'll bump the next.
Nobody wants to go to bed. Nobody's going to bed.
Come back from 2-3-1 deficits.
Nobody in Denver's going to bed. You know, anytime in a reasonable hour.
I'm never going to bed again.
Well, look, we're all stuck at home right now. We're all still figuring out how to live our lives, but life's not waiting for us. The world's still turning. MSU Denver Online puts a dynamic education at your fingertips without forcing you to decide between earning a degree and living your life. It's the Colorado institution providing rigorous and affordable online programs by professors who bring the real world into their classroom. They're responsive. They're eager. Look, they're really teaching you. You're not just doing this for the money. You're not just doing it for a credit. This is a real classroom experience. Check out MSU Denver Online. Some of the people on our staff have checked it out. They stand by all of those adjectives about the staff. Wind, I know they were very responsive with you, very committed. So check out MSU Denver Online. Do not choose between living your life and getting an education, and do it from the convenience and the safety of your home.
Yeah. We good? One more. Okay. That was fast.
It's amazing when no one interrupts him how quickly we can go.
Yeah, it's almost like these were designed to be 60 seconds. You may have heard us mention that there are some big things happening in the Colorado rugby space. Look, DNVR is now covering all things rugby in Colorado and the United States. Colton Strickler is keeping you up to date on all things American rugby with the DNVR Rugby Podcast, and you can find his written rugby content right on our site with the rest of our coverage. So support the sport of rugby by following along with the latest news on Twitter. Follow, well, I guess is it still Raptors at DNVR_Rugby?
DNVR.
It is changed to DNVR Rugby. So follow them at DNVR Rugby. And that's it.
Dude, I see Mark Spears out here. Several Clippers were so fatigued during Game 7 against Denver that they struggled to play stints longer than 3 minutes.
Fatigue,
and
man.
asked out
the
of the
Nuggets
game.
came down to Disney World with 8 guys.
And then came back
they
from
were
3-1.
ravaged. Absolutely ravaged with COVID.
How many minutes did Nikola Jokic play? I need to see this.
An easy 40.
Oh my God.
An easy 40. Guys, but seriously, look. That clown in Philadelphia talked about Denver would never win a playoff series if they didn't have home court advantage in Denver, right? They would never win. Meanwhile, Philadelphia had the best home court, worst road record and gets swept right the F out of the playoffs. Denver, meanwhile, no home court advantage. Western Conference Finals. Over, by the way, Kawhi Leonard and the super team. And it's funny, and it's almost ironic that the 76ers go down last year in 7 games to Kawhi Leonard because they didn't have a player that could outplay him on the court.
Well, Philadelphia, that's what happens when you suddenly skip steps.
Skip so many.
You're not skipping steps.
That was
for a
so
while.
good.
That's what
Don't
happens.
skip steps. Greater than
steps.
trust the process. It's official. Next question. All right, let's talk about this game, guys. Jamal Murray. We've talked a lot about Jokic. Let's give Murray some love. We were talking about this. Me and Vogt have been a little bit of Jamal Murray skeptics. We haven't been recently, but I'm coming into this playoffs a little bit skeptical. He didn't need this game to do it for me, but I love Jamal Murray. Like it's not just that I think he's great.
Right.
He's like he just has proven to be made of such the right stuff that I would rather him than somebody perceived better than him because I just know what you get for you just know he has the backbone for it.
And he's done it for these guys, for this city. So you want to see him get that reward. I mean, it's one thing to just be as good as he's been, but I also go ahead.
All right, okay, it's back on. Oh, there you go.
It's one thing for him to be as good as he's been, but he's been very likable, lovable, part of these promos, big moments, big shots, saying the right things after the game. This guy made a lot of new fans. Since getting
and he earned them all. 40 points from him, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. He did have 5 turnovers, as did Jokic, but F it, who cares? 15 of 26 from the field, 6 of 13 from 3. And guess what? I don't know if it was inevitable. I feel like it was inevitable that he would be great in this game. I know that's crazy to say. No, what I'm saying is that it's funny that the Nuggets are going up against the Lakers because I've said this before, and maybe the Lakers fans that are trying to troll in here will have to swallow this pill, but it's true. Jamal Murray is a true disciple of Kobe. And what I mean by that is this mentality about this mental toughness, this understanding that the game is more mental than it is physical, and it takes this incredible resolve. Everybody knows the stories about his dad making him do push-ups in the snow and all of the little kung fu mental toughness training that he went through in his life. But he's a guy that genuinely gets that part of it. It's not that he had some abusive dad that was doing this stuff. It's like he truly understands that. He truly seems to grasp that mental toughness and the degree to which it is an important quality for you to win in anything. And it's just, he admired Kobe. He went to the Kobe academies. It was his idol. To me, he is 100% a Kobe disciple in the best way possible.
You know how Kobe used to do that underbite thing?
Yeah.
And rarely showed emotion during games. I don't think Jamal Murray showed any emotion tonight. From the opening tip, he was just straight-faced. Doesn't matter if he hits a 3. Doesn't matter if the Clippers go on a run. He stayed so composed.
Very true.
And I felt like Jamal Murray, I did not think it was destiny for him to have a big game tonight, but you could see in the first quarter that he was absolutely locked in.
I don't mean it was destiny. I'm just saying that he was made of the right. He is made of the right stuff.
Yeah.
So you knew that it wasn't going to come down to is he the most technical shooter? Is he the most? It's just I know that there's an obstacle, and if there's anybody I trust to get over that obstacle, it's him.
In Game 7 last year against Portland, he struggled.
Yeah.
Missed a lot of shots in Game 7 last year.
Yeah, no, Murray made the leap. Murray has made the leap man. in this bubble. He just he found something, and it's not really about him thinking about what to do anymore. He just does it. It's just gone from the front part of his brain to the back part of his brain. It's just pure reptilian. He's just built for this.
He was in such control tonight too. I mean, for him to have sort of synthesized the hot scoring streaks with the improved playmaking, the growing floor general he's becoming, for him to put those things together, which I thought in the last 2 games, I mean, he was damn near flawless tonight.
Yeah.
He was incredible.
The Nuggets really were just in their bag in that second half.
They figured him out.
They solved him. Yeah, they solved him, and it was just a question of will guys make very comfortable open shots because Jokic and Murray were creating those shots for them. And Murray hit tough shots. Jokic hit tough shots, but everybody else just got to fill in around them in a way that was that's what people always judge superstars by how tough of shots they could make. Mm-hmm. Murray and Jokic made things easy for their teammates, and guess what? Tonight, Jeremy Grant hits 2 threes. He goes 2 of 6. Paul Millsap hits two threes. He goes 2 of 4. Gary Harris hits 2 threes. He goes 2 of 6. Monte Morris goes 1 of 1. You got those contributions, and those guys deserve credit for knocking them down. We talked about how important that was going to be for the series, so somebody had to step up. But my God, were they in rhythm, and comfortable shots. Contrast that to Reggie Jackson when he was in the game, and he was like, what am I supposed to do right now?
Hey, Reggie, save us.
Yeah, am I supposed to shoot this? I'm not supposed to, right? Yeah, I'm supposed to pass over here.
Open looks all night.
Underrated of the resolve shown by a group of people, Nuggets fans. Nuggets fans.
No one can suffer like us.
Nuggets fans
Maybe
went
Clippers
through
fans can.
being up 18
but
points
they
in Game
don't
7
exist.
against a hated rival last season. They lost in heartbreaking fashion. They come back. Nuggets fans, for the most part, are unable to watch their team on television for a good portion of the year.
That's so true.
Nuggets fans have to listen to prominent sports figures in
Denver,
in their own town, telling them they should not pay attention to them, that they are a joke franchise, that they
just not getting it. I mean, we laugh all the time as a company. We're just like, we love that.
Yeah,
because they're just funneling people to us.
Yeah,
they don't even know it.
Then we don't even know what's going on with the bubble. Nikola Jokic gets COVID-19 before he comes. Nuggets.
I forgot about that part.
Imagine how good he'd be without COVID.
Also, really quick, I don't want to get you in a flow, but does Jokic have a sprained shooting wrist or not?
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember that.
No.
Remember that?
No. Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
keep going.
Oh, man.
But we go through the Utah Jazz. Somehow the Jazz are picked by most people. We go down 3-1 in embarrassing fashion to the Utah Jazz, another hated rival. We have to just sort of sit there and take it. The Nuggets somehow rise above. The fans never leave. We come back now in the same situation against now where, it's not just people that are watching the USA Network that happen to catch the Denver-Utah series. The entire country is now weighing in on the fact that the Nuggets shouldn't be there. These fans are ridiculous, basically. They're saying that they think that they have a chance. I'm just so impressed by this community. These people, all of you people that have stuck by this team and rode with us this entire time, that could see the bigger picture, that could see the potential that Nikola Jokic brings, that could see what the special talents that Murray has, that didn't give up on Paul Millsap, even though we were supposed to because he got paid too much, that didn't give up on Michael Malone because he didn't always make the rotation that you want at the time that he wants, but he built a tough team, a mentally tough team that is able to weather the storm, and at the end of the day can look to each other. Gary comes back in the series and immediately sparks it because the team has chemistry. They all come together. No one ever lost faith here, and it's just so inspiring. As somebody that follows all of the sports, the Nuggets are the ones that I chose to really dig deep in, that I chose to buy season tickets for, because I just saw this building years ago. I didn't see the Avalanche, obviously, are on the same trajectory, but there's just something special about Nikola Jokic. There's something special about Jamal Murray and the chemistry and synergy they have.
What is it? If you know, you know.
If you know, you know,
and
baby.
We've known because we've been here from the start, and it's funny. I know everybody thinks their team is a little better than they actually are. Everybody thinks they're a little bit special than they are, but for us, it's true. We get to say that definitively now. For us, it's true. This team is 21, 22, 24, 25 years old.
They are who we said they are.
They're exactly who we said they are. Jeremy, I just mentioned all the shooting here. In the first half, nobody made a bucket, and I was worried this was going to look like Portland, where you got big performances from your big players, but not from the role players. And the pressure, you always blame the big player for not coming up, even if they do. In that second half, man, I mean, it did feel like Denver figured something out. The Clippers started putting a really aggressive trap up the court. I felt like Denver figured something out at halftime, and Jokic was just a surge. I mean, he was a surgeon all game, but I just felt like he was so calmly getting the ball to the exact perfect spot at the exact right time, and it was happening. And then Jamal Murray, of course, just had he was like, the ball was on fire. The hoop was on fire the whole time, and he was just like, whatever he wanted to make a tough shot, he had it in him. So,
how many points did Jokic have tonight?
16. A dominant 16 point.
He dominated the entire game.
He was a team best and a game best plus 22.
Yeah. The way he picks apart a defense, man. I know there's a lot of guys with a really high basketball IQ, LeBron, CP3. I don't think anybody picks apart a defense like he can.
It's true, man.
The passing lanes he can see, how he can see one rotation, two moves ahead. I know those other guys are surgeons, just like he is, with sky-high, elite basketball IQs. But, I mean, this guy's a freaking computer.
And this is the thing I'm talking about when I'm talking about those role players for the Clippers just feeling so. And apparently in the locker room after the game, the Clippers have had some spicy comments. They're falling apart. They've ripping each other in the post-game commentary, which I think is hilarious, but also not surprising. But my point is, I love Luka Doncic. I think James Harden's transcendent, whatever. That brand of put the ball in my hands and let me do everything it's to me. I don't know if it'll ever win. Those guys, I think, have to move. And Jokic to me is not one of those guys, and that's part of why people undervalue him, right? Because he doesn't dominate the ball. But what he does do is he makes sure that everybody on the court is comfortable, and he does all of the setting the table and stuff. And it's not always me dribbling in a pick and roll, me doing this. Sometimes it's just like, get the ball over here, get out of the way, or set the table, let this guy cook. And that's why your role players knock down shots late in games.
So true.
The funniest part about that is he does dominate the ball. Like, this guy leads the league in touches for the last 2 years.
And touches, but is nowhere near leading the league in time, which is hilarious. It's just
not
quick,
dribbling the ball.
Just quick, get the ball over here. That didn't work. Get the ball over here. Let's set the table to do this or that. And it's just like everybody feels connected and in the game, whereas opposed to that fourth quarter, you knew J. Michael Green didn't want it. You knew all those guys didn't want it. Paul Millsap tonight, I don't really have anything to say about him other than he played 31 and a half minutes. And I thought he was solid. He was a plus 19. And Michael Malone rode with him instead of one of the smaller options.
Yep. Two big threes. I mean, I remember both those threes right now.
Millsap is a good shooter who had a good shooting year, and I know he was out of rhythm when he came to the bubble. Yeah. I know he's clearly over some even bigger hill now. But I really, truly thought he had two of those shots in him at some point in this series. For him to wait till Game 7 made me sweat, but like Millsap's a good player, man. Don't sleep.
Gary Harris, Mr. Nugget, shoots 54%, 6 of 11 from the field tonight, and is almost a team high plus 21.
And if he's not here, the Nuggets are in Denver right now. If Gary's not playing.
Everybody. Yeah.
I mean, they don't get out of round 1, but even round 2, man. I mean, this dude was just so good on.
They're out of round 2.
They're in Mexico by now.
Paul George. He was incredible.
I do have a new shirt. I have a new shirt I'm going to drop tomorrow.
Mr. Nugget?
No.
Please though. We'll talk about it later.
Love it.
Good life team.
Check tomorrow morning. I'm going to drop a shirt in the morning.
A new motto. Oh, so we have something. Producer guy. So there's some comments from. Is this what it is? It's Pat Beverly. So Pat Beverly and Lou Williams. Oh, not quite yet. We're still downloading it. We're still downloading it. Damn it. I was so excited for this because they had some spicy comments. They were asked about just how hard it is to guard Nikola Jokic. It was really crazy. All right, so let's play it. They were asked about guarding Jokic. Let's hear what they had to say.
Yeah, Guy Casavan, DNVR Locker here. What more could you have done to guard Nikola Jokic there, especially in the second half?
I answer this. Go ahead. What you think? You played basketball before? What you think? Honestly, that's an honest question. What you think? You watch a lot of basketball. You with ESPN.
I mean, that's why I'm asking you.
I mean, these
Nikola Jokic.
I promise we tried.
We didn't roll over. And we didn't just say, hey, man, you know what? Just come on, give us 50 tonight. Of course not. He's a hell of a player. The shots he took, he made some tough shots. If you was a coach, what would you tell us to do? Thank you.
We tried everything. So we tried everything. We had several different coverages
Nikola Jokic.
And
they didn't work.
Dude, yeah, like sometimes you come across special people, and it doesn't matter what you send to them. It's no scheme. It's no it's no nothing that you can do with special people. He's one of them, and he showed it tonight. He put them guys on his shoulders.
Wow, what really honest commentary
Incredible
from those guys.
They bring in the podium.
Really?
I think this actually is this actually a year old?
What's that?
Is it? Is this actually from last year? This?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're the only one not in on it.
No, that was just moments ago when asked about Jokic, guys. It's really incredibly candid commentary from All Knees Shall Bow. All knees shall bow.
Yeah, look, you know what the best part of it was? Jokic did flail tonight, and it was awesome. And he got the calls he needs to get and doesn't get. And I saw Pat Bev flopping out there. It's just delicious. These guys were losing. They couldn't lose gracefully. They couldn't stop. I mean, they just couldn't stop finding excuses all the way through Game 7. I'm sure they're making excuses right now.
Yeah.
Here's why you lost. The other team was better. Sorry.
Yeah, it's so true. We're cooking. Hey, guys, are you kidding? We get to talk our shit.
Well, it happens, guys.
It does happen. I can't attest to that. What else do we have? Any other place we want to go with this?
I mean, for me, guys.
Do we have highlights of the whole game, by the way?
Just play the whole game.
Or like Jokic or Murray or something?
Can we play the whole series?
Okay.
Here we go.
We can do both, honestly, because both of them are so dope.
For me, guys, this series, kind of like at its core, is about a Nuggets team that didn't skip steps, that stuck to its plan, that trusted and preached patience with its core in a time when player movement is at an all-time high.
So true, man.
Like, this Nuggets team was built over 5 years. This Clippers team was built in less than 5 months. And just the culture that the Nuggets have, the belief that they have, is a direct product of that. Like, don't make that mistake. How they built this team and the resiliency you saw in the playoffs just now and in the Utah series is a direct product of that. And, you know, it's not surprising that the Clippers are fraying. It's not surprising because they were constructed like a fantasy team, and they just don't have that interconnectivity that this Nuggets team has. And that's what this series comes down to me. And, you know, also what it proved is, you know, you can still build a team the tough way. You can still build a team the old school way.
There's no other way.
Still build a contender the right way.
And in Denver, by the way, you don't really have a choice. And these guys have pulled it off.
All right, we have some highlights. Who do we have here? Jamal Murray highlights. Wow, this is going to be a long reel.
Come on in, man.
This might take, how long is the reel? 30 minutes? Cue it up, House of Highlights. Let's see if we can identify the moment he got that look in his eye, because I don't think he had it all along.
He did.
I mean, he was really good, but there was a moment I thought where I was like, oh, he's got it.
It was when Jokic was out.
Is that what it was?
This
big shot, beautiful.
Oh,
yeah. Little sidestep. Look at this, baby. Oh, dude, he's been trying that all series and it's gone poorly.
First time it's looked smooth ever.
That might have been when he had it, actually.
Right then, he's like, oh, if that thing's working. It might have been right here.
Yeah,
actually, I think it's right here.
Come on.
I think it was, okay, he hit one.
Right,
maybe he's feeling it. It's the second quarter.
Yeah, look, this is when Jokic was
Yeah,
out.
you're right. This is when he got it. Oh, I can't.
Double Jeremy Grant.
There it
interesting
is.
choice to double Jeremy Grant.
They're down. Oh, yeah, this is definitely. These are all within like 1 minute time span.
I mean, that's grown man.
The floater,
right
dude.
there. The footwork.
What did he miss? One shot in the paint?
Look at this. It's only at they started at the 9 minute mark. So
Maybe.
this is all in a 3 minute span here. This run here.
Automatic.
Yeah,
from
this was
mid-range.
it. You just knew.
Yep.
My hope went up so high. It was from 50-50 to like 75-25.
It was the closeout right as the half came to a close.
Yep.
Where we got down by double digits. Things were looking a little
Look
bit
at the
grim.
score right now. 250. They're down 9. 11. They're down 11 right now.
Boom.
Buckets.
I love it. He ran to get
The
that.
elevation he got on that.
Dude, his legs are back, baby.
Why did they put Landry Shamet back in the game? That
Murray
was
leg
mean to
season.
Landry Shamet. That was a tough shot, too. I'm telling you, I was so confident in this moment.
Dude, these shots were wetter.
They're not even that. Yeah, they're not even like that bad a defense. You know it.
They were wetter than our winner shots, baby.
Second half, has he still got it? Oh, this was a big one. This was Jeremy's first three.
This was huge, man. This is when I felt like, oh, they got it.
Oh, that play was. Oh, the two-man. Are you kidding? This is when they started the clown. Right here was when it was like, oh, our two-man game is just killing you guys.
The close job started right here.
Yo, are you down to clown?
Oh,
yeah,
I mean,
are
that's
you
just
down to?
ridiculous.
This is when they started.
Are you down to clown
Look at the
right now?
score. The start of the fourth. They're clowning already. Oh yeah, broken play. It's our day. It's not your day. Hit the showers, boys.
Shout out Torrey Craig, 6 points tonight on some nice
He played
cuts.
well. He
Nice
played well.
finishes.
Was good.
He fought through a lot
this
of us
one
screaming
too.
no.
This one too was like, yeah, call a timeout, Doc. Doc sensed it right then. He knew.
Yeah.
Right then he knew.
Did you see the
It was going to take
anguish
a
on
prior.
Doc's face
It was,
as we
Look how
got down?
easy that bucket is for the two of them.
that was a foul too.
You got guys running and dunking, and these two are just.
Oh, give me it. Give me it. Oh, this game
Did he
was
say
so
something?
fun.
He definitely just
He
said
definitely
something to
did.
the
Look at them
bench,
up
too.
18.
Ah.
Clowned them.
I got goosebumps all over.
Did we just hit an ad? The YouTube video? Do
Yo.
we have the Jokic one?
Yeah.
They didn't put a Jokic one up? Oh, what a shame. This is his passes tonight were like. Of what? Oh, okay, we can play it up. We're stunting on the haters. We had two haters. How long
Come
is
on,
it? It's
haters.
only like 20
Come and
seconds,
get
right?
some.
It's like
Get
pretty
started
short.
on.
Because there were two, and look, I want it to be very clear. So this is from Big Waz, who's one of my favorites over at The Athletic, and this is from Chris Vernon, who's also one of my favorites. I listen to these guys all the time in their national pods. They clowned the Nuggets. Just like the Clippers tried to do, they clowned them going into it. 0%. Let's see it. Let's hear it.
Do I believe that Denver
Just audio.
can
Is it playing
beat
over us?
the Clippers
No, we can't
3
hear
out
it.
of 4 times? Come on. Like, no. 0% chance. 3 out of 4?
They don't have a shot. They do not have a chance to win this series. That's the type of guard that the Clippers chew up and spit out, man. Which is understandable because Denver is not a threat to this team. I repeat, the Denver Nuggets are not a threat to the Los Angeles Clippers. And I feel bad for them boys, Mo. But outside of that, if the Clippers are taking anything seriously, they're going to kick this team's butt.
Awesome.
I'll recognize eventually.
Fraud City.
0%. And not just that it was a 0% chance. That was the Wolf of Wall Street laugh, the like uncontrollable, like cocky laugh. That was the Nuggets. Do they have a chance? Ha 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 ha. Come on, man. That's just a bad matchup. Nope. Sorry. Try again. Put some respect on their name.
The worst part is just all of this just comes from the fact that nobody cares about the Nuggets.
That's it.
They don't pay attention.
They're just not watching.
Like, the Nuggets didn't jump out of their own skin and perform in a way that we've never seen. It's a miracle story. How do they do? This isn't the U.S. versus Russia hockey team. This is like the Nuggets systematically they disabled. They tore apart the Clippers. They did exactly what they wanted to do.
Oh, yeah, there was no miracle. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So
they just
PJ Dozier had 40? What the hell?
No. Yeah, and it's almost a thing, like if they were to play this series out 10 times, Denver's going to win more than 5 of those.
Do you think this changes, regardless of what happens in this Western Conference? I don't want to move on to it because I want to stay present, but do you think that this changes things with how people view this Denver Nuggets team?
No.
Really?
I don't. I think the people in our day-to-day lives, yes. Like, I was already getting texts from, just the casual basketball buddies, like, I was wrong about Murray. Jokic is so good. But I do think the national media is going to tell you tomorrow that the Clippers fell apart, that the Clippers embarrassed themselves. And look, to some extent, that's true. They're good enough to win a title.
They got embarrassed.
But they got beat, and people aren't going to tell you that the Nuggets beat the Clippers.
They didn't embarrass themselves. They got embarrassed.
Guy, you made that video too good. Everybody thinks it's real. Guys, that Lou Williams and Pat Beverly video, that was not their that was them talking about KD. That was them talking about KD last year, man. But it's true. If you gave him some truth serum, it's 100% true for this series with Jokic and Murray.
I don't think it's going to change much in the interim. Like next season,
I disagree.
Next season, though, things are going to be different for sure.
I agree.
Because the biggest knock on them was they haven't beat like a top-tier playoff team. The Clippers are as top-tier as you could get.
They were the favorite.
Yeah. So, I mean,
I know a lot of people are going
to –
a lot of people, when they adjust, okay, where was I wrong, they're going to say the Clippers weren't what I thought they were. But it doesn't matter. They also are going to have
exactly what we thought they were. What are we talking about?
No, I'm saying a lot of people thought they were title favorites. A team like Denver, they would make short work of. I mean, as we just played that audio. And I think people are going to say, oh, they weren't as good as we thought they were. But I think people are also going to say, hey, maybe this Nuggets team has something. Nobody's going to pick them against the Lakers. I'll tell you that right now. Nobody is going to take them against the Lakers.
No, I saw the odds. The odds are like Nuggets plus 500.
So it's 5-1. All right, it's not bad. It was 9-1, I think, in this series. So, All right, let's do the locker celebration, and then we'll start to wrap up here.
Wrap up means expire from this earth.
Locker room / hallway.
Yeah, that's
George Karl doesn't like this.
Look at Malone.
Sounds right.
He's in the middle of it. Oh my God, I love Malone.
Look at that. You gotta really respect Vlatko for keeping the mask on the entire time.
Responsible.
Also keeping a nice, healthy 6 feet of space. Very.
Oh, he just ripped it off though.
Incredible. Just what a guy. Look at PJ too. He didn't even get to play, but he's there.
PJ breaking the huddle down.
So much composure.
Oh my God, I can't hear what they're saying, but it sounds like it's great.
Oh, Woz just quote tweeted us and said they had similar quotes when asked about KD last year.
Oh, I love it.
His ears were burning.
Very similar.
Woz, we were just talking about you on the show.
You should reply with, man, like, so similar it might even be identical.
Almost too similar.
I got it. Oh, yeah, you got it, Michaela? Almost identical. Oh, man, you did do it too good. You did it too good, guy. You should have made the question even more ridiculous. Like, what's it like to get spanked and just belittled by
real. Everyone thinks it's real.
Twitter's going to take that video down.
Do we have to delete it? Is there journalistic responsibility here?
Yeah, I mean, apparently.
I commented under it.
Things are melting down here. This is no.
Oh, that's so hilarious.
Yeah,
almost
we're melting down. We're
identical.
melting down as a crew. We've forgotten that we're on camera here.
We're having too much fun. I guess we should probably wrap up. I don't want to.
I never want to wrap up.
I'm going to keep it going. No,
yeah,
guys. I said at the top of the show, Harrison. I know that my Nuggets fandom goes back further, I think, than all three of your guys's. But
yes, you know about mine. Yeah. It was a joke. I've been here for 3 years. Yeah.
But I mean, where does this rank in the top moments, in your opinion, just in terms of, I mean, any way you want to splice that?
I mean, it's number one for me. This is going to be an all-time Nuggets team. Like, this is going to be a team we talk about forever and ever. Erect the statue now. Erect the statue. They deserve it.
Statue corner. Win statue corner.
Yeah. No, this is an all-time team. An all-time team. We're going to talk about them forever.
I agree with
Colin Daniels just said the question was dumb as F, but I love the responses.
I think
Guy, you did too good of a job, bro. You did way too good.
Look, you're either going to tell your kids about this one day, or you just watch this with your kids. And I'm sure what you were feeling was something great, knowing that it looks like they're in store for something different than you. I said it at the top of the show. This is not your parents' Denver Nuggets. This is not Nug life. These boys can roll. These boys can play, and they are just getting started.
They really are.
Yeah, like when I was a kid, I watched Dikembe Mutombo grip a basketball, land on his back, and start crying. And I was watching it in the basement of my parents' home, and I felt it deep in my soul. And that was like when my Denver Nuggets love like really was solidified. And then I watched them lose to the Utah Jazz in the next in the next series to Karl Malone. But I mean that was like very foundational in my life, like that moment. I don't know where this is going to rank because I really I have not really come back down to earth yet. I haven't really let this sink in. But this feels big. This feels like
to me, it's easily tied for number one, and I think gets the edge for me personally, just because of where I am in my life covering the team now. I mean, 2009, I was very much in love with the Denver Nuggets, but completely removed. Being able to go through every step with everybody watching this, with all of you guys, it's just, to me, this is incredible, and I hope it continues. Guys, tomorrow, anything else before I bring us out of here? I don't want to leave. I really don't, but we have to.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
I just saw Yvonne in the comments with a
a
notion that I wrote about when I first moved here with the Denver Stiffs. It's not that Nug Life is dead. It's not that we're going to do away with Nug Life. By the time these guys are done playing, Nug Life is going to mean something different to you.
Hell yeah, it is.
This is Nug Life. This is Nug Life.
Yep.
And it won't ever be the same.
100% co-sign. All right, everybody, tomorrow night, I'm going to sit down with George Karl, recap this series. I can't wait to hear what he said. He's been hyped. I see him tweeting all over the timeline. He's feeling. I love that he still holds this team dear. I'm going to sit down with him. We're also going to preview the upcoming series against the Lakers. So that'll be tomorrow's show here for DNVR. Thursday, we'll get back together as a group, and we'll preview the series together. And then, you know what? We're going to be back here for hopefully a winner's lounge after game one on Friday. I can't wait.
Oh my God.
Thanks to everybody who's ridden with us from the start.
We know who you are.
We know who you are.
You're all coming on the
Everybody else that's
This
joining,
is for
you're
you.
welcome. Don't want to leave. It's going to be fun. We'll see everybody next time.
Congratulations. Enjoy this.